Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
Appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. So the stage is set. Ravens Chiefs AFC Championship at the bank. 3 o'clock on Sunday. Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs have been to 6 straight AFC championships. They're the defending Super Bowl champions, so obviously a lot of pedigree, a lot of playoff success and experience that the Ravens are going against, but I think this is the team that is built for it. Finish them! It's in Baltimore. We'll obviously throughout the week dive into more specifics. We'll have another game preview later in the week with another giveaway, but I just wanted to touch on this matchup since we just found out yesterday who the Ravens' opponent's going to be. I just wanted to kind of give my early thoughts on it and just kind of set the stage for this massive game. I mean, it's just, from a hype standpoint, it lives up to everything you would want. You know, Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, Ravens, Chiefs. But even disregarding the hype and the excitement of the big names and the teams, there's a trip to the Super Bowl on the line.
Opportunity for another week, you feel me?
No doubt.
There's no feeling better in the world than being able to have that name etched in stone forever, that confetti falling. One day at a time, one play at a time.
One play at a time, 1 second at a time.
Exactly.
Let's break it down.
Come on
Let's
now.
go.
Diamond make it business.
Hey,
We gotta go get it.
Come on.
Love, bro.
Love, bro.
I cannot wait for this game. I know this week is probably going to drag out. Sunday feels like a mile away, but let's enjoy that we're here. You know, there's only 4 teams left, and the Ravens are one of them. So let's soak in every moment, every little piece of content or whatever you're watching. You know, let's just enjoy the fact that the Ravens are still playing, and we're 1 game away from the Super Bowl, and we got to go through Kansas City to do it, or better yet, they got to come to Baltimore and go through us. Lamar's 1-3 versus the Chiefs. I know a lot of people bring that up, but same thing with the 1-3 playoff record. It just doesn't matter this year. It's a different year. You know what I mean? I know Lamar's better, but not only is Lamar better, Todd Monken has brought a way better, way more detailed, way smarter scheme to attack defenses. We have a lot more weapons than Zay Flowers and Odell, and Bateman's healthy, and we're getting Mark Andrews back, which we'll touch on. So, I mean, it's just a lot different. And this Baltimore Ravens defense is way better than that defense that we've been playing the Chiefs with previously. This is the best defense Lamar Jackson has ever had. I don't know if it's the best defense in Ravens history. That's obviously a stretch, but this is the best defense that Lamar's ever played with in his entire career. This is also the best supporting cast of weapons that he's ever had. It's the best coaching staff he's ever had. And Lamar's playing better than he ever has because of all that, and because he's growing as a player too. So that 1-3 playoff record, the 1-3 record versus the Chiefs, toss it out the window. I think it's completely irrelevant. I think that this is a brand new clean slate. The Chiefs are different. They have less weapons. We've never played the Chiefs without Tyreek Hill. You know, so we used to have to defend Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. That is not the case anymore. Those receivers are not as good as Tyreek Hill. So this is a different matchup. It's a completely different matchup, and I love the Ravens' chances in this matchup. I truly do. And shout out to the Ravens fans for making the bank loud in that divisional round. And we got to bring it again. And I know we will. I was calling and screaming for it through my, you know, if I have any voice at all through my channel, to be loud on defense especially. You know, obviously you cheer naturally when we score or things go well, but no, when the opposing team has the ball and we're on defense, we need to scream the entire time because it affects the game. And Mahomes said on the Manning cast this year that the only time he's ever had to go silent count is against Seattle and against Baltimore.
The only time I've been silent is in Baltimore and in Seattle, where I've had to, under center, kind of have to go verbal or the signals to the offensive lineman. It was so loud in those stadiums that the tackles couldn't hear me.
He couldn't hear, he couldn't communicate with his line, so he had to go silent count. And I would expect nothing different. There's no reason that they should be able to go through hard counts, have cadences. No. Like, let's simplify everything. They're not going to be able to hear each other. They're not going to be able to communicate. And that's our job as fans. And that's how we can impact the game and how we should impact the game. So I expect the bank to be even louder than it was in the divisional round, especially when you got a team like the Chiefs coming in. There's no reason they shouldn't make it as hard as possible when we can control that. And then, trust the players and the team to do the rest. They're obviously the ones really impacting the game. But if we can impact it in any way, all this noise before and after is just for entertainment. But during the game, the fans can impact it, and that's a beautiful thing. So get this bank rocking again. You leave that game with no voice, and I think that'll be a huge advantage. And how special is it to even have an AFC Championship game in Baltimore? I mean, I think it's only happened one other time in the 70s, and that was the Colts. So the Ravens have never hosted an AFC Championship game. They've obviously been to many AFC Championship games, but they've always been on the road. So the Baltimore Ravens are hosting their first AFC Championship game in franchise history in Baltimore. That's special. That's a reason to show up and go out and feel proud of this moment and what this team's accomplished, and us fans being on this ride with the team and supporting them since the offseason, since our whole lives, since all the other seasons where we didn't accomplish what we wanted. We're here now. The game's in Baltimore. That's special, man. And the Chiefs, 6 straight AFC championships, but 0 of them have been on the road. And now I know they just played their first road playoff game in Buffalo and won, but now they got to go on the road again. That's no easy task. They're traveling to Buffalo. They're coming back. Short week for them compared to the Ravens as well, because we got one extra day and we're playing at home. So I would say the Ravens have a little bit of a rest advantage. They don't have to travel. They get to stay at home. They're in their comfort zone, and they obviously have the advantage of being at home in a stadium that they're comfortable in, with the entire crowd rooting for them and rooting against the opposing team. I just think that's a big advantage. It definitely doesn't single-handedly determine the outcome of the game for sure, but it means something. And then the Ravens have Mark Andrews coming back. I would say that's pretty much a guarantee. That was the timetable. He also practiced all week last week and then missed the divisional round. So unless there's a setback, Mark Andrews is coming back. And that gives a lift to the offense. I know I hear people like saying, oh, we're rolling too much without Andrews, don't put him back in. To me, that's nonsense. I think you need to keep both guys on the field. I'm not saying diminish Isaiah Likely's role. But Isaiah Likely, it's not like he's getting 10 targets a game. So you could still give Isaiah Likely his 3-4 catches and, 5-6 targets or whatever, and give him some opportunities on some mismatches that he creates against a linebacker or something. So I still think you keep both of them out there. But having Mark Andrews added back out there, the way he can feel open zones, his chemistry with Lamar, that's not going to go away. They've played together for so long. That's not going to go away in 7 weeks or whatever it's been. So I truly believe that Mark Andrews is going to add a ton of boost to this team, plus his energy. That dude plays angry, physical, just Raven football, man, but on offense, and you don't always have a lot of those guys. I feel like Lamar's playing like that right now. Our offensive line is playing like that, probably from Lamar's energy and just the magnitude of this moment. So we need to play angry, and Mark Andrews is the perfect guy to come in and do that. And then hopefully Marlon Humphrey can come back too. I know that calf is obviously been a problem, and we won't really know a ton about that until practice starts this week. But if Marlon's practicing all week long, especially if he gets some full practices in, then I definitely expect him to play. But I don't know the severity of that calf. He didn't practice at all last week, and they ruled him out early. So obviously the calf is not in a great spot because that's coming off of the break. He didn't play against the Steelers. We sat him. We had the bye week. We sat him. We had a full week of practice. He still sat. So that's concerning for sure. But this defense is playing so well without him. And it's not like the Chiefs have this, magnitude of weapons. They don't have Tyreek Hill still. So I think these receivers are manageable. Kelsey's going to have to be a big focal point, obviously, in the pass game. And I think Kyle Hamilton is going to play a humongous role in that. He's going to be covering Travis Kelce a lot, and I wouldn't be against double teaming him either. We need to make sure that Mahomes to Kelce connection is not flourishing, because if we can slow that down, if we can stop the run game, Pacheco's running hard right now, but I really feel like we can be physical enough to shut that run game down, or at least slow it down drastically so that they can't rely on the run game. If we can do that, and contain Kelsey, I'm cool with our corners matching up against these receivers. Keep everything in front of us, so just no big plays downfield. I just feel like it's going to be hard for them to chip all the way down the field without relying on a run game, without relying on Travis Kelsey. That makes it extremely difficult. Now, those are big tasks. I'm not saying that that's snap of a finger and it's done. That's a big task, but that's what it's going to take, and we have the perfect personnel to do that. We can shut down the run. Our defensive front is amazing. Our linebackers are the best in the league, and then Travis Kelsey is going to have a freak in Kyle Hamilton all over him. Mahomes is going to make some stuff happen. I know that. Mahomes is going to scramble. He's going to get some runs. He's going to, make some off-scheduled plays. He's going to make some incredible throws through some tight windows that we probably didn't see last week against Houston and stuff like that. So I expect the Chiefs to have more success. I'm just saying the recipe and the personnel matchup is there in our advantage. But we shall see. I cannot wait for this game, man. Ravens are one game away from the Super Bowl. This is an incredible time to be a Ravens fan. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are about the matchup, about where the Ravens are at right now. How excited are you? What are your early thoughts about Ravens Chiefs and where we can take advantage of them and things like that? Just let me know in the comments. I appreciate you guys for supporting the channel as always. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.